Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Comment was made earlier that we don't want this bill weakened, and I'm not aware of any Republican that has an amendment that would weaken the bill. We would like to make it stronger and deeply regret that we were not consulted to help make this a truly bipartisan bill coming out of the gate. There's an awful lot of people on our side of the aisle who understand we need to make the law better and should. And many of us have worked in law enforcement, spent many years in it, and have good insights. So the process we're left to is amendments. And my friend Mr. Armstrong has a good amendment here. The only issue I have with anything that he said or in the amendment is when he said we need to bring the federal authorities into the 21st century. As my friend Mr. Gates pointed out, if we could just bring the FBI into the 20th century, it's a big help. And for anyone who knows that there is still some racism in law enforcement, I would contend it's a tiny percentage, but it's still there. We've seen it. Allowing the FBI to simply write down their version of what is said by a witness instead of doing what every cop on the street knows needs to be done, and that's a recording of what is said. The FBI is going to be able, either by faulty memory or by intent, sway the manner in which a witness's statement is portrayed and what is said is portrayed. That shouldn't be allowed. I mean, the FBI, until recent years, was considered by most of us to be the preeminent law enforcement department or agency in the world. That has been sorely blemished. I don't think Christopher Wray's helped at all. But this would go a long way toward preventing any officer, any FBI agent, any federal officer who has ill intent from being able to carry that out, because the statement is a matter of record. It would be recorded. It would be, it could not be edited. It would have to be played as it was, and that would help eliminate even the temptation of any federal officer to be less than candid in efforts to recall what was said by a witness that could mean the difference between many, many years in prison or being the free person that he or she should be. So I hope that we can come together. This would have been a great provision to have in the bill, and it would have been suggested and encouraged if we'd been consulted before the bill was brought forward. So I really hope we can come together on this. There's no reason not to have federal officers as proficient and accurate as local law enforcement in some of the smallest counties in the country. And with that, I yield back.